Oh, that's right. There's no introduction. I'm like waiting for something at the beginning.
Wow.
So that's why it's
quite
not
nicely, though, I gotta say.
unpaused. Yeah. Down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map at Entombed Valley, we have our Green Terran player from the team NSH.Sting down 0-1 in this best of 3. It is Sting. And speaking of guilty pleasures, no. Here in the top right-hand corner, we have
Sting,
from Team GoSu, it is their Red Protoss player, Hwangsin.
Sting's all like, Roxanne, you don't have to put out that red light.
Roxanne!
I don't even know if I can do that anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
Back in my days as a Sting impersonator.
I guess so. I was
my previous life.
Your second life doing the
That's right.
karaoke circuits.
That's right. They never appreciated me. So I got into esports, where I get so much more appreciation.
Yeah.
He said as he left. And so we've got, Hwangsin versus Sting again. Game number 2. Hwangsin winning a very dirty, messy, knockdown, drag-out saloon fight PVT.
It's true.
On Daybreak. So we'll see if we have a bit of a cleaner game here on Entombed Valley. But Hwangsin is the type of player that, you know, he likes to just take every little chance he can to do damage and do damage. He doesn't like to play safe, per se, a lot. I mean, despite the fact that he does like to do the 2-forage expand type of style.
Yeah.
Like we saw last game, if he's like, oh, hey, you know what? He just made a mistake and I can punish him for that. I'm going to do it. He does it, you know? He's kind of like a little bit almost like the July Zerg of Protoss in terms of like how aggressive he is. And obviously that didn't end up working terribly well for July Zerg. And I think there are things to be said for not playing in that manner at the tip-top level. But you can't deny it's entertaining to see. I mean, it's exciting. So we'll see if he decides to play things a little bit more calmly this game or if he goes nuts again.
Well, Sting is already opening with gas as well, so, and no quick tech lab for him before First Marine comes out. Now, of course, this is all going to get scouted, but Sting is going to save up to quite a pretty high gas count here. Could be for a factory. Already second barracks, though, so it looks like it will be just a couple of add-ons here and possibly concussive shell for a quick Marauder Marine push.
Oh, I like this. I like this quite a bit. Reactor first is the safest way to go with his 2 racks expand, and yeah, you can do a decent amount of damage early on if you push when Protoss is not expecting it. Really fast second gas, it seems like, for Hwangsin. So he's planning on staying on one base a little bit longer, too, it looks like.
Okay, well, we'll definitely see what he ends up going with. That's a pretty good read off of his opponents. Do a safer 3-gate expand, for example, to make sure you have a few additional units out to defend the 2 racks pressure that'll inevitably be coming out of your Terran opponent. So we'll see if Hwangsin's able to pull this off. Of course, though, as Sting just finishing up his reactor, continuing with that Marine production, we'll see a tech lab here in just a second.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll be Marines Marauders, probably concussive shells very quickly. Now, one thing Hwangsin could do is go gate robo gate as well. I mean, 2-gate robo is something you can certainly hold this pressure with as well, and it's nice to have a couple of mortals out early on. But I'm curious, man. I mean, he does like to one base it every once in a while. I've seen him proxy robotics bays for Colossus surprises and things like that. Warp Prism all in is not maybe the best thing to do on this map, but it is an option, I guess. So he's got a couple choices. It'll be interesting to see what he chooses to do.
And there's Concussive Shell coming out now, so Hwangsin was saving up a little bit of resources there.
Yeah.
Looks like this is going to be a Sentry expand, whether it's of a 3-gate variety or 1-gate. Looks like it is going to be of a 3-gate variety.
3-gate expand. Okay, yeah, just making sure he has a second gas for sentries, right?
Also, because most people out there now, hopefully at least, we had a ton of viewers yesterday for the that Team Liquid will actually be joining IM in San Francisco for the Team Arena Challenge Finals.
Exciting.
We do have confirmed as well that Team Liquid will have every one of their players out there except for Jinro. So that means Zenio, Hero, Deja, of course.
Yep.
You know, Rhett, Chef, HeyPro, and Noni are all going to be in attendance.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, man. And I feel like they really do have a good chance against Incredible Miracle. I feel like it's going to be a very competitive match. I actually talked to Kennegat a little bit last night on Skype, and he says that they're pretty confident if they can win that first best of 9 that they can also win the second one. So that's a good attitude to have, definitely, going into it. I know they're practicing hard.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And we also want to mention we have been saying that there was going to be a show match between the Team Aces as well. Upon further consideration with the teams, we've decided to actually forego that because they had reached out to us and said that they didn't want their players playing before, and Liquid actually called it the most important match that they've ever played. So that should put how big this is to them in some perspective. So.
You know, as a team, it probably is is fair to say it's the biggest stage that they've been on as a team. I mean, a finals for a very large worldwide team league, it's a huge deal. So yeah, you want to focus completely on that match, just like Hwangsin wants to focus on defending against this push.
And Sting making his way up. Pretty good force fields there to delay for a little while, but he's going to need another round of warpins at the very least, and just to make sure that he doesn't give up this Nexus.
I thought so. I was wondering.
Dark Shrine coming up for Hwangsin.
Yep, he did get that Twilight Council fairly early, and there's the Dark Shrine. Looks like he's going to have to cancel this Nexus, so I don't think he can get down and defend this. He's going to try, but I feel like Sting just has too much stuff. If Hwangsin moved down that ramp right now, he's just going to lose his army. Yeah, he does cancel that at the very end.
I feel like, to a little bit, that's intended, though, after what happened, because Hwangsin's like, oh, look, I'm going to poke down the ramp. I don't want you to kill that. I'm building a Dark Shrine right now. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from this. So.
You know, what he's doing this game is actually a little bit similar to what we saw Slayer's Genius do against Taejon Ohana yesterday. In fact, he tried to do a type of Dark Templar expand as well. It was 1 gate into Twilight Council, whereas this was 3 gate. But it's DT expands are actually starting to show up a little bit more often in PvT. It's kind of interesting to take note of. So.
Look at this. Sting's hiding units, though, until these commit too far from Hwangsin.
Oh, wow, he canceled it. That was some amazing reaction time there.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe he actually got that canceled. That's incredible.
Now, the problem with DTs, unfortunately, is that Hwangsin doesn't really have the ability to warp any out across the map, so he's going to have a Dark Shrine.
No pylons.
Oh, but he does have a Warp Prism, so that'll do it.
DT drop, certainly going to work. And I think you're right that he would have probably preferred to send out some probes and warp in a little bit closer, but Warp Prism does work.
And the first 2 DTs are actually starting to tear across the map, so they are very quick units.
First, it looks like.
And there are actually no additional bases up. This command center is just about to finish now. Sting going up to a total of 3 barracks and an engineering bay, but he doesn't have that engineering bay down yet.
Oh, no, he saw the DTs. Oh, man, 1 gets away, but he did lose one of those very expensive Dark Templars on 1 base. Now, like we mentioned earlier, with the 2 racks expand like that, if you go for a very aggressive 2 racks like Sting did, your expansion comes up a lot later. You are taking a bit of a risk, but on a map like this with a big ramp, it's something you can choose to do. And Hwangsin just trying to cut down the unit count right there. Decent force fields, letting only a little bit through. The force fields for Hwangsin when it comes to army splitting have been really, really good, I gotta say.
And Hwangsin is picking off a couple of units here from the back as well. So, DT finally does get picked off, but it did soften up. Killed 2 Marauders and almost a Marine. Their Marines do have combat shields done. So against unupgraded DTs, it does take 2 shots from the DT.
Now he feels like he's ready to come down here and fight this. He wants to save that Nexus. Another DT coming in with only 1 command center for so long. Sting doesn't have a lot of scans available. Oh, he picks off the Immortal, though. And DT's in the meantime getting warped into the main base. But is it going to be enough? Sting coming into the main right now.
Yeah, this is really, really deadly for Hwangsin, but of course there's no way to heal up these units, so any stim is actually permanent damage that's done. So Hwangsin needs another round of warpins here in just a second. And look at that, DT going to town on these workers inside of the main.
He's got to stop that turret from finishing. He's attacking the turret itself.
Yeah, good decision.
And he gets it. No cancel there. Sting's going to have to start it over yet again. Wait for a scan. DT and a couple of Zealots blocking the ramp, and the Nexus is being built. It's finished, in fact, for Hwangsin.
Oh, wow. And this DT has 16 kills.
Man,
so
he's a master. He's Master League DT.
Hwangsin's trying to find a way to hold on here. Looks like he is going to kill a couple more workers on his way out at the very least.
There's a scan from that second command center. And another DT immediately warped in. He's like, all right, well, you're just not going to have mules for a while.
It looks like he's going to try and intercept these Marauders that are making their way back. Cool move.
Yep. And he's going to get 1 and 2. Yep, gets the second one as well.
Done. Okay, so these DTs have paid for themselves, even with detection out there. Now Hwangsin is at 46 supply and up by 8 workers at the moment. Not much of a standing army, but he is looking pretty good.
Oh, no, the Warp Prism, though, is going to get taken out. Nothing he can do about that. A little bit of a mistake there by Hwangsin. And Sting should stabilize, though. Yeah, he's got that missile turret on the way now. So he should be okay. Could use another one at the front because, as you can see, DT is still able to lurk a bit. Oh, that's in range of the turret, though. Whoops.
A little bit of a mistake there. Hwangsin going to try and run this away, but there's nowhere to go.
That's still to take that out.
Yeah, he did. That was a little interesting because this medevac's actually out of energy, so that was quite a bit of damage done to those units.
Yeah, that's
there's no attack really forthcoming from Hwangsin. I mean, it's going to be a while before he stabilizes, but still,
yeah. You don't want to waste the energy. You know, it would have been better to stim like 4 of those units or something like that. That would have taken it out, you know, nearly as fast. Hwangsin getting his Robo Bay again. He has to rebuild that now at this point because he did lose his first one. And getting 3 more gateways out there as well. So trying to just keep his opponent on his side of the map with Dark Templar while he tries to tech up into a more normal composition. Sting has a really strong army right now, though.
Let's see if he has any scans available. He does. He does have one scan for now, so this DT not going to do all that much. It's going to try and delay. It's going to draw another scan here in a second. There it is, but Sting not really opposed, although he still has a few hurt units there.
Yep. Here we go. Hwangsin putting down those defensive force fields. Needs to wait for another round of warpins before he can hold this off. And he should have enough sentries with energy to keep this walled off fairly well.
May even need the AoE, honestly, from some Archons here in a second, if he can get a couple more DTs out there.
Nice force fields again, man.
Yeah, and this DT in the middle here has proven to be pretty effective. Draws another scan, but killed another 3 or 4 units there and allows Hwangsin to warp in a few more forces.
Man, the force fields have just been so good. I mean, it doesn't... He might not have enough to hold this. The bio does so much damage. It looks like he will barely... Well...
I don't know, man. It's so close.
Man,
yeah.
These games are just crazy. Yeah, the Immortal coming down the ramp, that's going to end it right now. But
yeah, he's just like, come on, just get out of here. Nope.
Yeah.
Sting, you need to leave.
Both players, again, just like trading blows, but Sting gradually getting more and more supply here.
Yes.
As the game goes on.
Sting is ever so slowly starting to kind of win that war of attrition.
Yeah.
He is tied in workers, but has mules on that, so his economy's a little bit better.
Oh, the Immortal's dead.
Oh, that's really bad.
That's unfortunate.
Yep.
I mean, and if you think about it, too, he's trading much cheaper units for Hwangsin's much more expensive units. He's trading Marines and Marauders for Sentries and Immortals and Stalkers and Dark Templar. So it's a lot more expensive for Hwangsin to make that sort of army than for Sting to keep producing bio like that. So in the end, it's just, just simply more efficient for NSH Sting right now to keep fighting.
Sting does have a lot of supply tied up in Medivacs right now, though. So, you know, if Hwangsin can kind of start to slowly win that war on the ground as he is drawing out more and more scans, he will still be in an okay spot, but he needs another big warp in right now.
Yep, and there's another warp in. Will it be enough to defend? Another just absolutely brutal TVB here. Both players trading blows, but in the end, Sting looks like he's going to have barely enough here with this push.
Yeah, it looks like this one's finally going to kind of turn the war of attrition for him. And there it is, GG. So Sting takes the game, ties things up, and we are 1-1 moving into game number 3.
Wow, what a crazy 2 games already.